It's a big national issue.
So let me bring this up because, again, I think the adding of a culture shift is critical, or else we'll make all the policy reforms in the world, and we're still going to deal with a perception of manufacturing, which is not accurate, but is still deeply held in our country. A couple other issues that were raised by some of the prior panels I thought would be good to air here, since we have a lot of work going on. Energy. Okay, so the notion that the United States can have cheap, reliable, predictable energy as a platform for manufacturing is an enormous shift. But we've got some really hairy environmental issues to deal with. How do we do this? How do we get beyond the polarization, not just partisan polarization, but the real concerns that people have about environment in Ohio or in other parts of the...
Yeah, I'll tell you, in Ohio it's really exciting, as you know, because we have these new shale finds, and you know, in the West, they're used to having these natural gas and oil finds periodically. In Ohio, we're again becoming a producer of natural gas and oil, and we're actually going to be a net exporter, we believe, in the next decade. And it's a huge opportunity for jobs. By the way, specifically manufacturing jobs, because we make a lot of pipe. So V&M Star is expanding, you know, a new steel mill in Youngstown, Ohio.
Right.
You know, it used to be a steel capital. U.S. Steel is expanding in Northeast Ohio as well. But we also make pumps, and we also, you know, make other structural steel for the platforms and so on. So there's huge opportunity here. And I do think the environmental issues can be handled. I'm on the Energy Committee, as you said. We work a lot with this because we're so interested in being sure that the fracking, the hydraulic fracking, can be successfully done and that it is properly regulated. John mentioned earlier fracking water, being sure it doesn't get into the groundwater and so on. The companies that have been doing this for 50, 60 years are good at it, and they've dealt with a lot of these issues. Ohio happens to have pretty good regulations in place. Maybe some states need to work on that. But I think there's an enormous opportunity here, and I don't frankly see that there is a huge disconnect here between what the communities want and what the industry wants when it's done in a safe and in a way with a regulatory environment that requires them to do it in an appropriate way. So I think it's a great opportunity, and specifically for manufacturing, not just the extraction of the resources, but for Ohio, it's great for us.
But it is